You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, there's so much carbonation.
I didn't like that.
Oh,
I don't know if you've ever tried to not chug a stout.
oh, you're chugging stouts
Ooh.
over here, you fucking
I-
savage.
I got uncommon stout.
Is that how 2021 really treated you?
And welcome everyone to the first episode of the year. Brand new 2-week break. We're back, motherfuckers. I'm Adam.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Nick.
And this week I am drinking pink lemonade mixed with Minute Maid. Pink lemonade Smirnoff mixed with Minute Maid lemonade. It's great. Good times. There's also a little Sprite in there.
Fascinating.
This has been very bizarre.
Would you like me to read the entire ingredient list on all the cans I'm about to drink? I'm drinking some seltzers. I'm drinking a Corona hard seltzer. I have some White Claws next to me. I'm going the healthy route because, you know, New Year's resolutions. That'll
Nice.
last until
I'm also-
probably tomorrow.
I'm also going the healthy route with a uncommon stout from Davenport.
Oh, yes. The stouts. The
Yeah,
most healthiest.
the healthiest of beers. Just
Arguably, definitely not the heaviest beer
Nope.
there is.
nope.
So if you remember this time last year, we did the
No.
year in review.
I don't think you remember that we released pretty much 52 episodes last year because we released every week except for like one, I think.
Yeah,
One or
but
two.
like you had COVID or might have
And
had
also,
COVID.
yeah, and then there was
There was one.
I don't
where we
think you
had-
realized
I think
we were
Memorial
blackout.
Day like had like a technical difficulty.
to put it together. We basically were blackout like 45 days out of last year.
At least that's just recordings.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll count later, but I can pull up how many episodes we have. I just have to count them individually. But anyway, so we're doing a year in review. We did one for 2020, which was a wild year. And now we're here back again doing a year in review for ourselves for
I am
2021.
happy to say that at the end of this year, I know I'm not going to be as heartbroken and just physically and mentally abused as I was in last year's year in review.
Yo, there was so many weird major events that happened last year, just outside
The
of
first like
COVID.
7 months each had a different theme
Yeah.
of death.
and then we
Oh,
had
yeah.
like Chadwick Boseman die and Sean Connery and it was a wild year.
And this year, Sean Connery died, is what you tried to
Yeah,
tell us.
yeah.
I did.
No, I remember
I
that.
did.
Adam completely because when Adam put that in the group chat, I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
why does it sound familiar?
I looked it up and I was like, no, he died last year.
It was
He's
coming
like, it
back
was a
around
typo. It's like,
again.
no, there's a lot of sources that say it was last year.
I'm
There was
like,
a-
oh my
It
god,
came back around for some reason. I don't know why.
it was real
um,
rude.
So, well, now I'll just count right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we did 24 episodes of the podcast, and we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I hope he
8,
doesn't
9,
edit this
10,
out.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
really hope
16,
he doesn't.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 episodes of Drunken Jurors.
48 out of the 52 boys. That's a pretty good fucking percentage.
Pause.
So that means we had a 2-week break. So that means we only missed 2 episodes
Yeah.
throughout the year.
We start. I don't know if you want to count it. We started doing Jury of Drunken Opinion. We started that.
Yeah,
this
I
year.
count. We did out of the 24 Drunken Jurors, 1, 2,
That's a
3,
92%
4
rate,
of
guys.
them. Four of the 24 Drunken Jurors were Jury of Drunken Opinion, and 2 of the Drunken Jurors had a guest Andy Hopper on them.
Oh yeah,
What a guy.
what a great guy.
Honestly.
He's our guinea pig.
Yeah,
For
guinea
everything.
pig, great man.
for anything.
10 out of 10. Go check out the brew party.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back into Andy's greatness
Oh no.
a little bit later.
Will you
Uh,
describe his penis in depth?
Flaccid, even when
Ooh.
hard.
Oh.
Wait, what?
What? Hold on. Yeah. Pause.
I
think you just
So-
have to go reset his prostate.
Yeah.
to fix
Manually.
that. Yeah.
So like we did last year, we're going to go into some major events that happened during the year. Now
way less than last year, luckily.
way less. And we're going to have a caveat to this. We are only going to be doing facts or major events that are not
Political.
political,
Inflammatory?
well, they are political. A lot of them are political, but they're not divisive. We're not going to talk about.
We're gonna piss so many people
we're
off with this
not-
episode.
We're not going to talk about George Floyd. We're not going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. We're skipping all that shit. A lot of people are angry about stuff.
This
A lot
was the
people
year
are
of
not angry about stuff. Yeah,
not
so much
controversy, but divide.
divide. Big
Mhm.
divide this year. So we're going to skip anything like that.
I
So-
look. I just want to say something. On whatever side you come down on, I hope you're very angry about it. I just hope you're angry.
If both sides are angry, that means that the compromise has been made.
Perfect. Honestly, yeah. I mean, he's not wrong.
So let's get into this long grocery list of major events. Number 1, January 6th.
Damn, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Hold on. Had our year review even been released then?
I think so.
I remember getting very angry at this. I think I yelled at Adam for like an hour.
Hold on. Now we're gonna look. Yeah. Yes, this was
Okay.
literally our year review released 2 days before this happened. So January 6th, supporters of President Donald Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol in Washington during congressional certification.
How
of
was
Joe Biden
that
and
early
Kamala
in the
Harris.
year?
Yeah.
So because we're not, this is a thing.
Well, I
that
guess the
happened.
inauguration would have been in February, right?
Yeah. Well, this is a thing that happened. To not get political about it.
A
That's
bunch
it.
of morons ran into the Capitol. There you go. End of story.
Okay. And then our the next one on our grocery list is January 20th. Joe Biden is inaugurated as 46th president of the United States of America. And
our
Kamala
first ever
Harris.
female. Yep.
Kamala Harris is the 49th vice president, the first female, Black, or South Asian vice president. And then
the first woman to have presidential powers in the U.S. because the president had a camera up his ass.
what?
Yep. She had presidential powers because he had a colonoscopy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. And then
Where I thought that was going.
and then
Welcome.
the next thing of many is COVID-19 is still a thing.
Yep. At the end of 2021 into 2022. Yeah.
Still happening. And you know how I said it was a big laundry list of major events? That's it that people won't get angry or yell at us about. So
Yep.
moving on.
Yep.
Political bullshit.
A lot
The
of
thing
politics.
we do not like.
A lot of politics this year. So because
Go
we
to a
can't talk-
different podcast for.
yeah,
Find another one for that.
there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
We're
there's
funny,
plenty.
but we're not politically funny.
No, it's just gonna start into a lot of yelling.
Hey, you
So-
saw it this time.
Now we're gonna go into celebrity deaths.
This is the one that hits hard.
This is the
It
one-
always
yeah.
throws you through loops.
I can't
So-
wait to hear about Sean Connery's death again.
Me either, man. 'Cause that was like a month ago.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna happen again?
2 months ago?
Maybe.
Probably, yeah. Third year.
I can't wait for like 2030 when we hear about how Sean Connery died for like the 13th time in a row.
It's like
It'll
Betty
be the
White.
10th.
Betty White or Topher Grace. Both of them constantly are dead.
God damn it.
So as of recording, which we might add a few things to this later. Who knows, depending on what happens and who dies. these are some of the big.
In advance, we apologize for not including the death of the Queen of England on. Hold on. We're gonna fucking pinpoint this on December. On December 11th, we apologize for the death of the Queen of England. If I am right, I'm going to fucking jump off a building.
Same.
I'll also commit suicide. Fuck it.
So-
I'm down with the death pact.
So these are just some of the bigger names that I feel like.
Yeah,
the
sorry
three of
we
us
couldn't
would-
involve your family member or something
This is some,
that we
the
don't know.
people that the three of us I feel like would know about or care about. So
Yeah, so that was a little rude.
first
fuck 'em.
person on the list, Sigrid Fischbacher, from Siegfried and Royd.
That is
Siegfried
not
and
a
Roy
real.
franchise.
No,
That
I
is
know
not a
who
real
that
thing.
is. I didn't know he died. I also didn't give a shit.
He died January 13th at the age of 81
I
due
hate
to
to tell you
unknown
this,
reasons, probably
have
COVID,
no-
but unknown reasons.
no idea who the fuck that is.
Do you not know who
the
Siegfried
the
and Roy
Tiger
are?
guys from LA.
Yeah,
Or in Las
They're
Vegas.
from
The
Las
Tiger guys
Vegas
from Las
Tiger
Vegas.
Guys. They're gay lovers from the 1980s
Yeah.
Nope.
that
Nothing.
do tiger shows.
Nope.
Uh,
Were they on Tiger King? Because I didn't watch that.
No.
Nope.
No.
No, they were not.
Tiger
Jeff's
King has a second
Uncultured,
season.
that's what
Yeah,
we're
it does.
I
I
am uncultured.
kind of
This
want
is
to
true.
watch that, but I'm not certain if I actually do.
I haven't seen the first one, so don't care.
Then on January 23rd, at the age of 87, for unknown reasons, probably COVID, because this person was hospitalized for COVID only 2 weeks before. Larry King died.
Yeah, he was old.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
we
gonna
know
be
who
honest
this
with you.
is,
Didn't
so-
know he died.
I remember briefly here. He like
What
fucked
day
his
was
wife
this?
out of the will. I remember reading that.
What day was this?
January 23rd.
God damn. Wild time. How do I not remember that?
This one I feel like is gonna hit all of us pretty hard. So on January 27th, Cloris Leachman died of old age. Cloris Leachman was the grandma whore from Beer Fest.
No. No.
I don't remember Beer Fest.
God damn it. Well, yeah, that's understandable. You should never remember the end
I
of
think
Beer
I was
Fest.
blacked out every time that movie was on.
That's
the
understandable. You
point of
should
the
be.
drinking game with Beer Fest.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
so she
That's so
died.
depressing.
I didn't know this until I was doing research for this.
I feel like we talked about it around when it happened. I feel like me and you did have a conversation about it because I vaguely remember it. Oh,
That's sad.
that is a
though.
rough one. Cheers.
Yeah.
Ferda to her.
Okay.
That empty bottle doing you well there, Nick.
Fuck off. I don't want to get up.
So next up, on February 5th at 91 years old, Christopher Plummer died of old age.
I'm
Christopher,
really fucking angry about it.
good. So Christopher Plummer,
Let's see my desk for like 2 weeks.
he was in Sound of Music, which you guys have probably not seen. He was in Knives Out. He was the old man from Knives Out.
Oh, really? I love Knives Out. That was a good movie.
He was also the actor that got his face digitally put over top of Kevin Spacey's in the movie All the Money in the World after Kevin Spacey got
Charged
fired.
with
Yeah,
rape.
got
Boys?
sexually assault charges. Yeah, and
Pulled
got
in
fired-
Athens, Greece,
got
circa.
fired from
200
everything. And
BC?
so Christopher Plummer was the actor that stepped in and replaced Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
Hmm.
Fuck it.
On April 9th, at 99 years old, Prince Philip died of old age.
Okay, we
We're
can
still-
skip past that part.
We're still waiting for his respawn.
Yeah, are we?
He's still
we-
in the ghoulie.
Are we not talking about? I thought we were skipping over political bullshit because
I-
fuck that dude.
It's the
Prince Philip
it's
died.
these
it's a-
English. It's not real. No, Jeff, go into it. Go fucking hard. Go.
Fuck
no
that
bar,
man.
Go.
That man was so fucking hard linked. To goddamn Jeffrey Epstein, son of a bitch. Fucking. Oh God. Fucking that man deserved to die. Also, didn't he kill the fucking? Wasn't he on like a conspiracy of killing Princess Diana?
That
or
was like
whatever?
the entire royal family.
Yeah. Well, fuck that guy. That
I mean,
creepy
it was
ass.
a big
That
name.
dude who looked like he literally
He
was,
was a
being
corpse?
held
Yeah,
together. Yeah,
yeah.
looked like a corpse for like the past 23 years.
He was held
Fuck
together
that
with
guy.
zip ties and duct tape.
Fuck that dude. Fuck that useless
Tell
piece
us,
of
tell
trash.
us how you really feel, Jeff.
Jeff actually loves him.
He's actually
No.
Jeff's actually a huge monarchist.
Yeah, huge fan of England.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get that out.
I know we said we aren't going to get political. I don't understand like actual monarchists. They're like it's a wild.
There's
thing.
not
Like,
a whole lot of them anymore.
I'm like, why? What?
I wonder why.
Yeah, why is that the form of government? Like, there are so many better ones, so many like other shitty ones.
I almost understand the reason people want communism to work, but it literally physically cannot.
There's no reason for monarchism. Like, I just don't get it. Like, monarchism is like the shittiest form of government. Okay, I don't know about the shittiest. It's down there. It's real down there. There's like a whole shitty trash can of political beliefs and monarchisms in there.
Also on April 9th,
no. He came back.
No, that's 3 days.
He won
later.
his ghoulie.
Dying at the age of 50 due to a drug overdose. Hip hop artist DMX dies.
Oh yeah,
It's
that was this year.
Who's gonna give it to you, right?
X
That
gonna
guy?
give it to you.
Yeah, that dude. I know rap. I
in
listen to so
Deadpool.
much of it. I'm such a big fan of
I love DMX.
Little
Your
Jimmy?
top
Of
the
Lil
top
Jimmy?
three rappers. Top three rappers.
Okay,
Go.
so you got Lil Jimmy, you got Big Nas, you got Nos gonna give it to you. Those are my three favorite.
Perfect.
You,
Continue on.
you got 3 Pac. 3 Pac's got to go in there.
So on May 24th, at the age of 74, Samuel E. Wright, the voice of Sebastian from The Little Mermaid, died.
Okay.
I feel like
Oh.
Nick was going to care more about that.
Sorry, I fucking got an email.
Okay, so you don't care about Sebastian? From
I
The
didn't know
Little Mermaid?
Shannon emailed you. that.
Sebastian from the Little Mermaid. I don't know. I didn't know that was his name. Also,
The crab, the
it's,
Jamaican crab.
no, I know what you're talking about.
Not a hard hitter for me.
No, I haven't watched Little Mermaid in about 20 years.
Okay, so then on July 5th, at the age of 91, Richard Donner dies of old age. Richard Donner was the director for films such as Superman, Lethal Weapon, and The Goonies.
Holy
Lethal Weapons.
shit,
Oh my god, I
didn't-
gotta watch Lethal Weapons soon.
I
It's
didn't-
almost Christmas time.
I didn't know we got off the mountain.
Sorry, it's past Christmas time. I've watched Lethal Weapon.
God damn, Jeff! I thought you were gonna get that.
Yeah, I thought I
Yeah.
was gonna get through it. God damn it.
Yeah,
Damn it! That was
I'll
such
cut
a
it.
great. That was such a great reference.
Fucking God. Lethal Weapon's such a good fucking movie.
It is a great movie. I like
All
Airplane.
of them.
Airplane's also great. Leslie Nielsen's just great in general.
I concur.
No, hold on. Pause. Lethal Weapon. I'm thinking of the wrong film series. I'm thinking of Naked Gun.
yeah, I know.
I'm thinking of Naked Gun.
I
I'm
know
stupid.
that. I was just gonna cut it.
That works.
I was gonna
Uh,
ride with you.
On July 26th, at the age of 46, Slipknot founder Joey Jordison died.
Yep, the drummer. Yep, big it's a rough one. Also, they didn't do a tribute at Knotfest for him, which was kind of odd. I mean, I guess they kind of did. They flashed his name up after their 13th encore, aka Slipknot's usual shit. And yeah, I don't know. That as someone who's a big fan of Slipknot, that was a tough one. That was a wild ride.
What can you explain exactly what they did at Snotfest?
So
For those of you who
Knotfest-
didn't listen to our episode with Dirk,
at
Jeff went to
Knotfest, they just listed the past band members that like died, like their date of birth. So it was their name, and under it was their date of birth, and then the year of death. Like that was literally it.
Oh, that's like,
And yeah, that was it. But hold on, let me see. So yeah, Who the fuck? When Paul Gray died, they did a whole thing for him. Like they brought out a mannequin with like a bass wrapped around it, but their actual new bass is played behind stage because they wanted to do like a tribute to Paul Gray. Joey Jordison, they didn't do anything other than at the end they popped up Paul Gray's year of birth, year of death, and then Joey Jordison, year of birth, year of death. I don't know why exactly. I'm sure they had their reasons for it, but I don't know. It was kind of weird, kind of disappointing because like Knotfest, I don't know. Maybe they did have concerts right after he passed away, but I feel like they would have had to fill
COVID.
Well, also they had to fill the fucking void. Like they had to find a new drummer.
Yeah.
You don't just get a new. It's also Slipknot, who's one of the like they're super prolific in metal, but like also you can't just go out and immediately find someone who can play your fucking drums for you in a concert like 2 weeks away super easily.
Yeah. Then sticking with music, in July, at the age of 72, Dusty Hill, the bassist for ZZ Top, died.
I couldn't tell you how much I don't fucking care.
I know enough about ZZ Top. They're kind of cool, but yeah.
All right, well, fuck me. Then.
I just can't tell you how much I don't care.
I
I just talked about Slipknot, one of my favorite bands. And then you're gonna pop up ZZ Top as if they fucking match up.
ZZ Top's pretty neat.
Cool.
Then I feel like this one we'll care about a little bit. On July 30th, at the age of 81, Theo White died from liver cancer. Theo White is the voice of Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Okay, that one fucks me up a little bit, but only because it reminds me of Courage the Cowardly Dog, which scarred me as a child.
Terrifying show. Refuse to watch it.
Honestly,
Still
to
do.
this day, yeah.
Still don't wanna watch it.
It's spoopy.
I love that show.
It's a good show, but
Yeah, that
it's
explains a
still
lot.
pretty spoopy. Like even to this day,
So
it's one of the first things I watched on HBO Max when I got it. I watched like the first like 4 episodes. And I was
And
like,
how was it?
terrifying.
Terrifying still?
Still fucks me up. Not like fucks me up, but it's still like I still feel
it's scary
that.
still.
Yeah, I still feel that like when you're watching it, just that
Stress.
feeling in your gut. Yeah.
Is it just a meme
full-on stress.
or does Courage just pull out a fucking M16 at some point?
No, I think he does. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a
Oh.
while, but I do think he actually pulls out. It was like in the 90s, dude. Like 90s and 2000s. Yeah,
They
no,
just
that shit
released
wasn't-
a movie of Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Huh.
Oh.
Wild. I hate to say it, but I think Courage wins that. Courage literally fought for his life every fucking episode.
Courage out here carrying around the fucking got. Keep it on him.
So you guys might not care about this next one, but this one hit me pretty hard.
Your
So
dad?
no. So
Oh.
I love British comedy. Like I watch a lot of British panel shows. And so Sean Locke died of cancer on August 16th at 58 years old. He was one of the most famous British panelists. Morgan and I cried when we found out. It was a big deal for us.
Interesting. Thumbs up to you for getting through it.
British people aren't real.
Nick, your life isn't real.
Their rights aren't.
I sympathize with the Irish on the fact that I also hate the British.
So hands up if you've ever seen the movie Up. Cool.
Once.
The guy who voiced Carl, Ed Asner, died on
Yeah.
August 29th at 91 years old.
I remember that one.
His final ever performance is voicing Carl in a Disney Plus series of shorts called Doug Days, which
Okay.
I watched, and they're very sweet and wholesome.
That's what we need more of while we're going into our 3rd year of fighting COVID-19.
Yeah.
Fucking piece of shit virus.
This one was a pretty big deal. On September 14th, at the age of 61, Norm McDonald died of
Mm.
That one
cancer.
hit me. That one got me.
I think
Norm-
that one hit everyone.
Norm
Yeah.
McDonald was a host of Weekend Updates on SNL for a long time, and he was the Colonel for KFC
Everything.
for a
He was in
while.
so much shit,
He was in so much.
and it was so good.
He was on like that fucking Mike Tyson show.
Oh my
It's like
god!
a Mike
I forgot
Tyson cartoon.
hat. Yeah, I forgot Mike
Yeah,
Tyson.
he
had
like
whole
played a
thing.
pigeon. And it was like he was actually really the best part of that show.
Oh my god! Oh,
Um,
Norm Macdonald is a
Yeah,
good one.
Norm Macdonald was great. That one hit hard. I've watched his like most recent stand-ups and they're fucking hilarious.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That one's like probably the only one this year that's really hit me. Other than Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew didn't even make the list.
Prince Philip, whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck, whoever the fuck. Never mind. The joke's dead. I tried.
Yeah.
So is he? I can't snap loud. There it is.
The next one, it hits a lot of people hard, not me too much,
So do I.
but James Michael Tyler died on October 24th at 59 years old from stage 4 prostate cancer. James played Gunther on Friends, the coffee shop owner.
Oh wow! I couldn't tell you how much that show sucks.
I don't care about Friends. It's not. I don't hate it. It's just I don't care.
This hit a lot, like because there's a huge Friends fan.
Yeah, I know. They're
So this was a
that
big deal.
70s show is better.
Yeah, it is.
True. Yeah, 100%.
They're making a sequel.
I don't want to
The
watch it.
'90s show, right? Isn't that what it is?
No, it's Kitty and Red
As
watching
grandparents. Yeah.
watching Eric's son.
Yeah.
I wonder what Topher Grace is doing these days.
A lot of indie films.
That makes sense.
Venom after he played Venom in Spider-Man 3, that kind of
Destroyed his career.
Destroyed his career. Yeah.
Understandable.
Looking back on that movie though, it's not as bad as I remember it being.
I haven't seen it since the first time.
It's like a cult classic now.
I like the memes.
And then the last one that I got is Art LaFleur died on November 18th at 78 years old due to Parkinson's. Art LaFleur played Tooth Fairy in the Santa Claus 2 and 3.
Oh,
Never seen them.
I know who that is.
Jeff, you've never seen the Santa Claus trilogy?
I'll do it this year.
We shouldn't count the third one.
This year. We'll talk about it next. I mean, yeah, I've seen it. It's
Yeah.
insert Jeff's opinions here.
No, we'll watch
Actually,
it. We'll watch
No,
it.
Martin Short's in it. I like Martin Short.
Martin Short. Yeah, it's
Martin Short is good. I do
the
like
third
Martin
one
Short.
isn't bad, but it's also not good.
Martin Short carries it
It's the biggest meh out of all of them.
I'll put it in our
out of an
podcast
entire
topics.
series of meh.
Jeff, watch Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
It's spelt with an E at the end.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Because it's not Santa Claus, it's the Santa Claus, as in
Yeah.
legal terms.
There we go.
I just
So, yeah.
picked up on that. I like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Why they spelled it that way.
Yeah, because it's the legal version.
I like
it's
that.
The
I like-
Santa Claus.
I like that. I didn't know that.
You fucking moron. I don't know how you of all people didn't get that.
I haven't seen the movie in like 10 years.
To be fair, those movies fucked up how a lot of people spell Santa Claus now, because a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm sorry,
They don't
General
really
America, but you
they
are
don't
stupid.
explain it in the movie. They just roll with it. All right, so those are our celebrity deaths. Yeah, Norm Macdonald was probably the worst.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I would say.
Norm Macdonald was the biggest for us, and Cloris Leachman.
Life events. Jeff got engaged.
Nice.
Jeff did get engaged.
May
August.
15th.
This is the only way I can say
Nick,
that.
Yeah, you
that-
Nick
really
got
want-
a
you really-
girlfriend.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really all we're gonna go into it.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. Yes, you're the only
Hello,
significant
Shannon.
other who listens.
Sorry,
to this, so,
sorry, mine
yeah.
was the last one, but I was literally chugging from
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
said Jeff got engaged.
Yeah. As you're the only one. Hello. And then occasionally, fucking Morgan when she wants to.
Nope,
No?
Morgan doesn't listen.
Was this that one time? That one fluke?
She only listens if I specifically request she listens to something.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well.
Understandable.
Yeah. Understandable.
It do be like that though.
Well, she is upstairs right now, probably listening to what's happening anyway.
I was gonna say it. I feel like I just heard her upstairs for like a brief second.
Well, she's
Like I
watching
heard
TV.
like I was gonna say I feel like I heard a TV in the background of someone for like 2 seconds. Guess. We did guess last year.
We had some of those.
We had a few. We actually had more guests this year than we did last year. I think by one. I think we had one more guest.
Yeah.
Mainly because if you could see what it's like recording without a guest, holy shit. Oh,
We fight. It's
Yeah.
us fighting through the episode.
the amount of times that
We
we've
talk
had
to
be
each other
like-
too much.
Yeah, the amount of times we've had to go. All right, we need a guest.
Well,
someone.
it depends on how often we record, though. That's really the biggest problem. So first guest of the year on the podcast, Andy Hopper, coming in clutch. I think he
Absolute
just
mad
because-
lad.
we had nothing to talk about, and we just texted him like, "Hey, you free?"
Yeah, that's possible.
I think we planned it, but it was like we had a few episodes recorded, and we were like, "Yeah, we got nothing left to talk about." Andy, you want to be on? So it was like the next week he was on.
Mhm.
Quick turnarounds. Good times. Love Andy. Andy also
And I mean,
Was-
I literally cannot give a higher praise to anyone than like
go
Andy.
listen
Like,
to the
I
brew
just-
party.
It's so good. The Brew Party's a great fucking podcast, and Andy's just so entertaining of a human being to be around. Oh.
Andy was also a guest on our Drunken Jurors.
We'll
talked
get into
about-
that.
All right.
Don't worry. Yeah, we'll talk about our one and only guest episode we had of Drunken Jurors and how we will try to do more of it next
If you
year.
want to hear about us talking about Andy more on Drunken Jurors, go back and listen to the last episode we released last year.
There you
Boom.
go.
Second guest we had last year or this year, whatever the fuck. Mike Alberton.
Great guy.
from
Also, love that.
Games
guy,
My
yeah.
Mom Found. He was on our podcast in 2020, back again 2021.
Jeff
had
and
a-
I guested on his episode on his show a couple times.
Yeah. He
We
first time we're solo for each of us.
Yep.
And then this last time, Nick and I joined in to talk about a wonderful, basically child's game that actually just got released as
Yeah.
like a Pokemon Go mobile app almost.
wild.
We talked
yeah,
about Pikmin
yeah.
and how
And
it
then-
was horrible.
I just or it probably came out recently. Was I did a recording on the Court of Owls comic book series, Batman Court of Owls. So great guy.
Mike-
Love being
Mike-
on his show.
I think Mike might be the most genuine person
Yep.
that we've met through podcasting.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely just good,
Good guy.
like good-hearted human being. Like
Andy, you're a bastard.
not true. Andy's hilarious and an amazing human also, but Mike just has a very genuine quality
Mike's
to him.
wholesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Andy is just
Andy
as
will
much
tell
a
us to go
degenerate
fuck
as
ourselves.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy will tell us to go fuck ourselves, which is needed because we are stupid. So
After Mike, we had another returning guest, Dirk. Which
Also a horrible person.
we also started this year with Dirk. We restarted the podcast that he had, the Plaster Paladins.
Mhm.
That was this year.
so that the one with Dirk was our one with like the Satanist.
religion.
All that it was
yeah, it was
religion
our big
podcast.
religion
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
That is our first hard-hitting topical podcast we've done, and that
Mhm.
we
I
recorded for
I
so
tried
long.
listening to it.
I-
I got halfway through and then I got like started hearing myself get drunk and I'm like, I can't. I'm no longer making sense.
Well, the
It-
problem
tough
with an episode
topic.
like tough topic. The problem with that episode too was we recorded for 4 hours and it got cut to like an hour 20 or something. So
There was a lot. Go subscribe to the patron or become a patron. I don't know what the fuck words you want to use. Become a patron. Go listen to that. It's 4 hours, but we go in depth on all of our like views
Yeah,
and
I
like
don't
trying
even-
to actually communicate everything with each other.
Yeah, and like why we believe in what we believe or don't believe in what we don't believe. And Dirk
think-
explains what being a Satanist is, because it's not actually believing in Satan. It's like being atheist, but
Yeah,
theater.
with an
but-
asterisk.
Yeah, like, but it's being an atheist, but with pizzazz. Like,
I
I also think this year, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we wanted to cover a few more like kind of not hard hitting, but like serious topics, I guess.
yeah, I think we wanted to go that route, but then like just the world around us became very political, very divided, very serious.
Yeah, but that
in
doesn't mean
general.
I still think there's
So-
certain topics we can talk about with each other
Yeah.
So
that we can kind of hit on.
I was
Especially
always-
because we are three completely different human
Mhm.
beings. Especially if you go into political views with us,
Mm,
we're like all three different in some way, shape, or form.
very.
And then
yeah.
outside of that, just
So
really,
I
we're
was
just
always
good friends that have three different fucking views on
I was always
much everything.
raised, You never talk about religion, sex, or politics, and I've always found that to be absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if you can't talk about those, then everything's just shallow.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's always been one of those things.
Look
I've al-
into
yeah.
at least having another one of those episodes in
I would
2022.
love to tell Adam that he's wrong on literally everything he believes in with his heart and soul. At least
That's-
once.
It's
live.
a good thing, because I feel like the majority of the majority of the American population agrees with me on a lot of things.
I hate to tell you this, Nick, but I think he might be right on that one.
I also agree with Adam on most things.
Or we can find a common ground.
Yeah.
And there's not even things that has to be
compromise.
an argument.
Yeah.
Between us.
We-
It could
we
just be
don't
things that
argue.
we-
Yeah, here's the thing. Adam
It could
and I
also
don't
be
argue.
it could also be just
As
things
an
that are
outsider,
hard
though,
topics
Nick,
to talk about.
It
I-
sounds
as-
like we're arguing.
As an outsider, we are. It
Yeah.
looks like we argue, but we're not.
I
Um,
think,
But yeah,
I think
it could just be hard hitting topics that are difficult to talk about.
that couple
Plan
at
on at least
the-
one more of those in 2021.
that couple at the bar Saturday. Adam was definitely side eyeing us while we were talking.
shit happens.
Yeah.
The next guest we had was our first new guest, Ryan Buds.
That was a fun one.
Cool guy.
That was one of the least
Our first
edited
comedian of
episode.
the year.
Yeah, that was our least edited episode, because
That man just fucking wrote
Ryan-
it himself.
yeah,
Like,
essentially Ryan took over, which was great. Like because we just have questions and he was just telling stories and going into stuff, and it was like trying to fit. We only had an hour and like 15 minutes that we could have with him, so trying to get everything, all of our questions in, and he just kept telling long stories, and it was great. But we were like,
Didn't
oh,
skip a
shit,
beat.
like, yeah,
yeah, we never got to any of the questions we wanted. So he didn't skip a beat, and it was like one of the easiest fucking things we ever recorded by far.
yeah, so much fun.
Cool guy.
Also, just a great guy. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
super cool.
I want to have him back. Once he starts doing more things, I'll try getting him back. He just moved, so he's not still trying to figure his
Mhm.
life out a little bit.
You will know him from Sharknado. So
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. If you've seen Sharknado, you know Ryan Buds.
he's the guy
Ryan
that's
Buds
screaming.
is Sharknado.
Our next guest after that was Matt Gwynn, returning guest from last year.
That was a good one.
Yep.
Less things that scarred me,
Yep.
which was kind of nice.
yeah,
Also, still just a really fun guy to talk to.
that
he
was
hilarious.
That was a 100% text him the day of.
Yeah.
yeah.
That-
Yeah.
I think we had scheduled to record, and it got to like it just wasn't working out. Like
Yeah.
what we were recording just wasn't happening. So we were like, well, fuck, well, we need to record something. So we all three of us just start texting people, hey, who's available
Yeah.
now? And Matt said, yeah, I can do it. Like, give me 10 minutes. And we're like, cool. And he came in, we recorded an episode. It was great.
It was a good episode. I remember
Yeah.
we talked
Mhm.
about Audible. We talked about history.
Yep.
Good times. It
Real,
better.
he's a real smart guy. Like
Yeah.
he's just a really interesting guy to talk to.
Also, he didn't scar us this time, which is
Yes.
amazing. He
Yeah,
made
there
us
were-
watch some horrifying videos last time,
Yeah, it was weird.
which also makes him a great guest. Like he was just, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
And then after Matt, our second new person, Jake Doherty.
Oh, I love that one.
Jake's great.
Because Nick didn't show up until 3 hours or 2 hours after we decided to start recording. But
I
also
don't-
we pushed it back an hour, so Nick showed up halfway through recording.
I don't
Jake is so
think I could possibly explain how hungover I was that day.
So
Jake
so,
might be the smartest guest we've
Yeah.
ever had.
so
Like-
let's just go into the logistical problems of Jake's podcast. Like for everyone that doesn't know. So first things first. So Jake posts on Facebook. We're all like, there's a bunch of Facebook groups to find guests where we found all of our guests. Except Ryan. I was friends with Ryan beforehand. But so Jake posts that he wants to be on people's podcasts. He likes talking about history, German history, and beer. And I was like, this sounds like a man.
I
that we
love
can
all
get
of
along
those
to.
things. Yep.
Um, Mostly, I was like, wow, like this is really someone that Nick can talk to, which makes it worse later. So I messaged Jake. We're like, cool, let's record. He actually lives in Germany. So he's on
Bavaria, I believe.
Bavaria. So he's at a completely different time zone from us. And so to be able to have him on the podcast for us, 10 a.m. is 5 p.m. for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't record during the week because when he's at work, we're asleep and stuff. It's just literally the opposite times for us. We cannot record during the week. So we had to pick a Saturday or Sunday, and we did a Sunday morning. We were supposed to start at 10 a.m. So 5 p.m. for him.
Then the night before, I got blackout drunk at a friend's house.
We were all
and-
invited to a party.
Yeah.
I did not go because I knew we had to record early that morning, and I live very far away.
Like
So
you live like 2 hours away.
I
at
live
this
like 2
point,
hours
yeah.
away. So I was like, I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm going.
Mhm.
Jeff left early. Jeff went to the party and left early because he knew we had to record. Nick slept
Woke up
there.
with a bucket in my hand.
Nick slept there and continued to get blackout drunk.
I didn't continue. I woke up blackout drunk and was still drunk when I got home.
So Nick
I didn't drive. One of my friends drove.
So it's 9 a.m. and I'm texting both of them because I know that they were at the party. Hey, just want to check in. Jeff responds right away. Nick doesn't respond. So we're trying to get in touch with Nick. At like 9:30, Nick wakes up and he's like, yeah, I'm on my way. Okay. 10 o'clock comes around. Nick's like, I haven't left yet. Okay. So I go to Jake and I'm like, Jake, really sorry about this. Can we push this back 30 minutes? He's like, oh, no problem. 15 minutes later, Nick's like, yeah, I still haven't left yet. And it's a 45-minute drive. So I go to Jake and I'm like, Jake, so sorry. Can we start at 6 p.m. your time? So 11 a.m. for us. He's like, oh, this is like, I totally understand. Not a problem. Like, let me know. Okay. Then Nick doesn't open or responds to anything. So we're all under the impression he's on his way. So at 6 o'clock, Jeff and I enter Zoom, or 11 a.m. Jeff and I enter Zoom. Jake enters Zoom, and we just start chatting, like waiting for Nick. We're about 15 minutes in of just talking, not even recording. And Nick texts us, hey, I'm leaving now. Okay. So we continue to chat for about another 15 minutes, and we're eventually like, this is insanity. We're just going to start here. And if Nick shows up, he shows up. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. And I'm so upset because I was like, I specifically got a guest that Nick would love talking to.
I love talking to him. He was
And
great.
Nick's
I want to talk
not
to him again.
fucking here. So then we start recording. And about 30 minutes into the recording, Nick shows up.
It was
Jeff was there. I cannot explain how drunk I was the night before.
Same. I got home. Granted, Kristen drove me.
I was gonna
but-
say Don drove me the next morning because I was
Dude,
still drunk.
I think the worst
Jake
part was
was-
you saying you're on your way, and then you don't leave for another 2 hours. And you said at the time you were hoping we would just cancel or not tell you had to be there.
I was
Jake
really
was
hoping
just-
for that.
So knowledgeable, but so fucking funny with
He
like
wa-
how he explained
There's a
history.
reason he's a tour guide.
Yeah, like the way he
I was
explains history.
I was told
and
by
makes
a
it
tour guide that I can never be a tour guide.
entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was great. It was awful.
he was
destroyed my life.
So funny but knowledgeable. Like he was so perfect, and like the stories he told about the places he's around. Oh, and I think we all want to book like a fucking
He's
like,
invited
triple
us
date.
to a beer
Yeah.
fest.
Yeah,
Oktoberfest
we
with him.
want to do like a triple date trip to Germany just
Oh,
to
yeah.
fucking do it.
Love
We could
Jake.
swim.
Yeah,
Um,
that far, perfect.
We're all vaccinated, so we can fly. We're good.
True. Our genes are switching as we're talking.
So then the next guest we had on, this really ties into Nick not being able to show up because Nick canceled last minute to be here. It was for work. Nick last minute
I
had to work a double.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we were upset by it. It was just annoying. But we had Dan Bublitz Jr. come onto the podcast, and it was just Jeff and I and Dan, and it was so much fun. And we made fun of Nick the whole time.
It was yeah, that recording was a fucking good one. Oh my god. Dan just accepted the role the second we told him. We're like, just act like you replaced Nick. And he just immediately started shitting on Nick and talking about how he was just the better co-host.
think
And then we just
there is
talked
so
about we
much-
talked about comics and
Yeah, we did
Oh.
it was a good time. We're very
listen to
excited.
it.
Yeah, go listen to the episode, and also in a few weeks,
listen to all of them.
Dan's going to be back on the podcast, so go listen to that one when it comes out.
He'll be here with Nick.
Nick will be here this time. It's wild.
Maybe I may have to work a double again.
Die.
Okay.
Did you say
Um,
die?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guests that we had after Dan, which there was a few episodes between. Oh, I guess there was only 3 episodes in between. It felt like more. We had. I'm friends with Jack and Joe. So after Dan, we had the Derazzled podcast on, which consists of Jack and Joe. They were fun.
Yeah, we just talked about movies pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Movies,
a movie
drinking,
podcast. So
And then they didn't like recording with us, so one of them said that they had to leave for something, and then they both left because the other one had the equipment and blah blah blah.
Some real
Basically
bullshit
telling
hours.
us we sucked, but
Yeah.
yeah,
good times.
Real bullshit hours.
I think I've been talking to Jack, and I think we're gonna get them on again this year.
Perfect. They were fun. Maybe
Yeah.
this time they won't have to steal each other's equipment. That's gonna be my joke with them now. They had to fucking leave us.
And then after Derazzled, we had one of our co-hosts on Plaster Paladins with Dirk, Stev. Now Stev's episode is a wild episode because Stev's was recorded like 2 months earlier. But the issue with Stev was he was supposed to come out, but Jeff's audio got so fucked up that it took me
It's probably because I left early.
probably, but it took me about 4.5 hours to get
What was wrong with it? Like, was it,
It-
just like compressed or?
very compressed, kind of robotic sounding, like not terrible, but like there was enough issues that it took me 4.5 hours, especially because like I'm trying to fix the whole clip as opposed to just little snippets. So just sitting there waiting for things to render through. Of getting Jeff to sound like a human, normal person again.
Hell yeah.
And that took me 4.5 hours. And then the episode was going to be released the next day, and it was a 2-hour recording. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to, like, it's going to take me 6 hours to edit this. This isn't happening. So that was the one of the 2 episodes that we missed during the year, was that because I couldn't edit in time. And then we were getting ready for a big, long, like pre-planned thing, which we'll talk about next. So Stev got bumped a full month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. But Stev knew
We did start Drunken Jurors this year.
We did, yeah.
We started it kind of at the end of 2020, but
there was
our real set way of how we run it now.
We released
half in
5
2021.
episodes in 2020.
Yeah, but I think 2021 is where we actually honed
got
it
our
in.
groove.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. So going off of Drunken Jurors, in November, we did a JFK trilogy.
I think we're gonna have to go back and redo that sometime down the line if we keep this podcast going, because I do not think we did it justice.
Well,
because it was, with how our lives run now and how busy all of us are and how much we were not prepared to do it, but we wanted to do it, was wild. But I think we got the good. I think we did well. I just think we could really smooth the fuck out of it and get it going, right?
So what we did was we did
also, it's our first big series outside of, I mean, we did Chris Watts, but that was just like,
it's the first crossover.
Yeah, it was a big crossover for us between all of our podcasts, because we got Drunken Jurors, the podcast, and then Jury of Drunken Opinion. So what ended up happening, we did a Drunken Jurors episode about Lee Harvey Oswald, and then leading like into the death in a little bit, and mostly about Lee Harvey Oswald though, and then the death of JFK and his presidency. Then the podcast, because we've done like 4 or 5 conspiracy theory episodes now. So we did a JFK conspiracy theory episode, talking about ones, making up our own that Nick made up, and it's now the ultimate correct answer in fact.
True.
Yes.
And then after that, we did a Jury of Drunken Opinion about Jack Ruby,
and his trial. Yeah.
Now
the person who killed Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
the person.
Yeah.
He's just the guy.
He's a guy.
Do you guys remember?
He's the guy.
Do you guys remember why we like what came about to cause us to want to do JFK?
So randomly we were at your dad's house, and you randomly pulled out fucking newspapers from the JFK
and
thing.
Then
this was like in February.
We also put together that JFK's assassination is November 22nd of 1963, and November 22nd landed on a Monday this past year. In 2021, November 22nd landed on a Monday, which fit perfectly for us to do a JFK series about the assassination of JFK. So we were like, let's do it. We'll just fucking hit them all. And then we push shit off so fucking far, because we all work a job, and then Adam also does another job. I do another job every once in a while. Nick is lazy, and then it just was rough.
So
all right, call me out, why don't you?
So it was
maybe
I was which we've talked about this on the podcast. My mom moved to Georgia, and we were cleaning out her storage unit so she could move. And
that was
in her storage unit was a big box of old newspapers and magazines. And she was like, "Oh, just throw them out." And I opened up the box, and the first thing on top was the JFK assassination Time magazine from when the assassination happened. The Time magazines are literally poster sized.
Yeah.
So I saved them because I was like, they're probably worth something. If they're not, I mean, it's history. And so I have a bunch of like local newspapers for where my mom grew up in, and magazines and stuff of JFK's assassination. And I showed the guys, because they love history, and they were like, "Oh shit!" And so that was like May
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, it was pretty early on. I think now that, because something we're about to get into with our crazy recording schedule is the month of December, I'm going to start doing a shit ton of research into next season. And we'll talk about this we already have, or we will be talking about this on the year review of Drunken Jurors, where we're going to start off next season with a serial killer. Which one yet? Haven't fully decided, but I'm going to be deciding that probably this weekend, so we can all get set up and ready to go into it. But we're gonna actually start, and I want us to like do legitimate research and us to actually do this justice with a full month off, just doing some research every one, like a certain amount of hours a week.
Halfway through my 50-hour audiobook on Charles de Gaulle.
Just I think we can do a real fucking full blown series if we just give ourselves the time for it, and I think we can really smack something out of the park. Sports references. There you go, Andy. He'll show up to listen to this.
So recording that JFK thing was a pain in the ass because we recorded it in November. In November of 2021 was probably the worst month.
What do we record? Like 8 episodes in a month?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think 8 or 8, 9, 10, like 10 or 11. So
around Thanksgiving, nonetheless.
Yeah, so we recorded 3 episodes in 1 week, and then recorded all 3 JFK episodes, and the worst one was
within
on
like
Jeff.
3 days. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I had to edit it within less
Jeff
than 12 hours after.
Yeah, Jeff had like 12 hours to edit his JFK
where I was already
episode.
blackout drunk by the end of the episode. Like, what the fuck? Hey, edit this to sound good. Oh yeah, my drunk ass will get this right. I did.
Jeff texted us the next day. He's like, "Yeah, I shouldn't ever drink that much if I know I have to edit."
We also we completely forgot about Garrett's episode.
Who's Garrett?
I don't
We
even
did
have
forget-
that's in my list. We
completely forgot about Garrett's.
I didn't
guest
even-
episode.
Holy shit, there it is.
Well, like we finish this and then go back to Garrett's and throw it in, because this is literally
I'll
the
throw it
end
in.
of this part, and you can just edit it back forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we
Yeah, I literally texted them. I was like, I remember editing it and halfway through going, fuck this. Like, I'm done with this. I've been editing for like, it was like almost a 2-hour recording. I've been editing for like an hour and a half. I'm like halfway through. I was like, fuck this. It's all good from here because I'm the one talking. And then I do the rest of the end, like I throw in the outro, I do the edit, whatever. I schedule it to release. I go to bed. Next day at work, it's like we release at 11 a.m. on Mondays. It's like 9:45, 10ish. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna reschedule this to get released later so I can go home and make sure I actually threw in the outro music, took out the right stuff, and that I even put in the intro music and or edited this at all, because I can't fucking remember if I did. And then I came home, I literally went in, I have the outro and the intro music in there, layered where they're supposed to be. I was like, okay, quick playthrough at like 1.75 speed. I'm like, all right, we're good. Send it out. It wasn't good, by the way, but it had the right things it needed.
Which episode was that?
The first part of the JFK
one.
Oh,
the one where I had to edit it within 12 hours of it being released.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, because I had just
While
come back in
working at
town.
7
Yeah.
a.m. the next day.
Oh yeah, we started like 3 hours later than we wanted to. I had just come back from Iowa.
Because I got told literally like 3 days before that I had a game happening for my other job, and I was like, well, what the fuck?
All right, let's do Garrett and then get the fuck out of here because I need to go to bed.
Yeah,
I'm so
same.
tired. I've been up since 1:30,
I know.
man.
Let me click at guests. So
Next,
Okay,
just say next
so-
we had.
so actually between those two, we had Garrett, one of our buddies, on.
Mhm.
That was a good
and
one. Garrett drank like 2 bottles of mead. Garrett
we
got
got-
fucked.
We all got very drunk
I
on
got
that.
I don't
Because we just
remember
talked
the
about
episode.
drinking stories of college while getting drunk, which is all we did in college.
I do
You
not
put four people who got
remember-
drunk together daily into a podcast. Like that wasn't gonna work. I mean, it did, but it's
That
not
was-
gonna end up not you blackout. Like
That was such a heavily edited episode because conversations kept being brought up multiple times.
isn't that where? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that where
As
Nick
conti-
like?
And they were continuations. Like it wasn't like we were just rehashing it. It was the same, like continuing the conversation, but like 10 minutes spaced in between. So I was like, this is wild. And I just kept picking it up and moving it to the last part. And just
So
kept doing it. It was awful.
I got so drunk that I don't remember halfway through the episode. And then we decided to play a game. This was at like 8 o'clock, by the way.
you guys.
This
did,
was at
yeah.
like 8
I went to
p.m.
bed. No, it was later than that. I went to bed at like 9.
When were we playing Chicken Horse, Adam? Was that
Oh,
It had to be like 9 or 10.
it was late.
Yeah.
was it late? Or I thought it was earlier. But no, I fucking got so drunk. And I woke up the next morning like hungover as shit. And I look at my phone. My phone's dead. I plug it in to see what time it is. I'm supposed to be at work in 5 minutes. Fuck. And I drove my ass to work at 6 a.m. I'm like,
It was a wild one. Garrett was a fun guest. It was like he's besides Grace and Mandy, he's the first one out of our like
Yeah.
college friend group that we had on.
we've been wanting to get Justin on for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Justin wants to do it in person.
Garrett's the one
Yeah.
I've known the long like
Yeah.
I've known Garrett
we
for a
got
large chunk of my life.
we got Don willing to come on too, but we might as well save him for like a last minute thing.
Yeah.
Keep him in the wings.
We
Yeah.
got some good stuff planned
Mhm.
for next, at least for Drunken Jurors. I have some ideas,
I
which we'll
got-
talk more about,
I'm
or already talked more about.
JDOs are gonna come out randomly because
yeah.
we'll record them a month in advance and drop them when we really need one.
When we need them so we can finish research for it. But
Yeah.
I want to get better with research on
Yeah.
DJ.
So JDOs, I listen to a biography and I fucking write out a script and I forget about it.
So yeah, so that was our year in review. Last thing we're
Way
gonna
less
mention-
eventful on the deaths and events in the U.S. at least, or
Yeah.
worldwide. than
So
last year. Plus
So
side.
one thing I want you guys to do, if you missed the Taskmaster live stream, it's available right now for $1 on our Patreon. So just go there, subscribe, and also with that, you get to join our Discord. And at the $3 level, you get to see our unedited video versions of the podcast, especially any mistakes that definitely don't happen on the edited version that we put out.
Never fucked up once.
No, never. So thanks so much for listening, everyone. All of our links are down in the description. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yolk.
That fucking demon behind you. Yo,
Ah!
that quick turn with her eyes with Dan
She just
here
licked
was
her chops.
terrifying.
I don't like
looking-
how her eyes shine.
I hate it too.
I don't like how she's chewing on something.
She's looking at him. Hi, puppy. Hi.
We just see beams come out of her eyes.
Oh God. Hi. Hello. Hi, puppy. Hi. She likes the butt scratches.